Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer newsletter, has come out with the star ratings for AEW All in London and Wembley Stadium.
Oh boy.
Are you ready for this?
I can't wait.
From 0 Hour, Better Than You Bebe versus Aussie Open, 2 3/4 stars.
I don't know what to say. I didn't pay that much attention except for the finish because of the match that it was, but I can't imagine it didn't get 5 stars because unless let's see, Cole is kind of one of Dave's friends, right? He plays with the other kids. But maybe he's not on the MJF bandwagon anymore.
Hook versus Jack Perry, 3 1/4 stars.
Because they did the suplex through the windshield. That gave him a whole extra star, right?
Glass means stars? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, red turns green and glass breaks into stars.
From the main card, Jim, CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, 3 1/2 stars.
Okay. On the real scale, that's probably what it was because that's half a star away from 4 stars, which would be they tore the house down. On Dave's scale, this is probably what, about 1.5 on the real Richter scale. I don't know what he's thinking anymore. So I would say yes, that was a 3.5 star match because my scale was 4 stars and 5 if Terry Funk was involved.
The next match, Jim, Bullet Club Gold versus the Golden Elite, 4 1/2 stars.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, here we go. So the throwaway 6-man tag team match to get, some of the guys on the card was a level above most of Flair and Steamboat. Okay, I got it.
Not most of, Flair Steamboat was 5 stars, right?
No, had he done that? Did he do that or did he give them 4.5?
No,
I can't remember.
I thought they got 5, but now you're making me question it.
Did all of them get 5?
Well, the next match, Jim, FTR versus the Young Bucks, 4 3/4 stars.
Okay. Again,
Which according to Dave, I guess is as good as 5 stars, right?
It's as good as 5 stars. That's what he said. We're not arguing. We're arguing about the same thing. So he didn't want Twinkle Toes to get too mad, but I think he likes Maddie and Nikki better. And what did he give Gin and Juice and FTR in the 2 out of 3 fall 58-minute extravaganza?
I want to say that went past 5 stars. That was like 5 1/2 stars, or maybe 5 1/4. Maybe there was 3/4. It was almost 6 stars, but not there.
Oh, good Lord. I don't fucking. Okay.
Somewhat over 5, but under 6.
Yeah, well, this was 4 3/4. Okay, very, very, very good. It was the FTR did the best they could. It was unfortunately not the best FTR match, but not due to any of their shortcomings. But it was not as good as FTR and the Briscoes, FTR and Gin and Juice, a couple of different times, FTR and Gable and Jordan, FTR, and I could go on.
It wasn't as good as the first 2 Young Bucks FTR matches.
I've tried to put those out of my memory.
The second one was probably the best one, but the first one was really, really good too. But this was the least good of the 3 matches.
The least good.
The least good of the 3 matches. Jim, Stadium Stampede, featuring the Blackpool Combat Club, Mike Santana, and Ortiz, against the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, and there was another, Penta is his name. 4 1/2 stars.
For garbage and business exposing and stupidity and unprofessionalism and dangerous shit for no reason and bad booking leading to confusing teams in a poorly built up contest, 4.5 stars.
Has Moxley in it. If you have Moxley in it, Dave will give it an extra star right away. The women's four-way match with Saraya winning the title in London, 2 3/4 stars.
I mean, I would argue with that it's too high, except that Dave's Dave's system is so out of whack here. 2 3/4 would be if somebody dropped their pants and took a shit in the ring, right?
For the modern day Dave scale, I guess kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
The next match.
Because nothing on this fucking abomination has been under 3 so far.
Actually, the only of the women's four-way got the same rating as Better Than You Bebe versus Aussie Open.
Yeah, well, that's on the pre-show, so we're not talking about that.
Sting and Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match.
Oh, boy.
4 1/4 stars.
Oh, come on! All right. I don't know what else to say at this point.
Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho, 4 3/4 stars. Practically 5.
Now we're in Flair Steamboat territory. And by the way, I remind you, Kurt Angle has never received a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer, but Jericho and Ostrich get 4 3/4.
The Acclaimed versus the House of Black for the Trios Championship, or the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, technically.
Yes.
2 1/2 stars.
Jesus. Who'd they piss off?
Dave Meltzer.
What did they say about Dave?
Dave Meltzer.
Did Billy tell him to go suck it or something? Or? All right, I mean, it wasn't that great, but, compared to everything else, I mean, when you've got people running around, when you got the plumber in something that gets 4 and something stars, but they only get 2 1/2, that's an insult of epic proportions.
When we reviewed the show, we talked about how the women's match was in the death spot because it was after the Stadium Stampede. That's when people were going to go to the bathroom or just mill around, or how do you recover from a match like that? Is it even a match? How do you recover from that? What's a bigger death spot, that or the Acclaimed House of Black being the last match before the main event?
I don't know. On a show like this, they were kind of tied because it's so fucking long. You got time for 2 death spots.
And finally, the main event, MJF versus Adam Cole, 4 1/2 stars.
Oh, come on. Now, the thing of all the entire show that everybody wanted to see, and at least they made something out of it, it was all, as we said, drama and showbiz. But besides Punk and Joe and FTR and the Bucks, because FTR made them watchable, there wasn't really another legitimate fucking wrestling match on the show, and everything else pretty much sucked. So
Jericho Ospreay was all right. I thought that was good.
Well, all right. It was okay. Old Ostrich got him through it. But listen, good Lord.
You would think this is one of the greatest shows of all time. Out of the 9 matches on the main card, 6 of them got over 4 stars.
Yes. Which is, again, ridiculous. What is he looking at? And whose feelings doesn't he want to hurt? And how, at this point, there are people that are still, we're discussing this because there are people that still discuss this. And these wrestlers, they just love it when they get 4 stars and above. But how can he keep any credibility at this point? We're looking at the same shit. We see the plumber has no clothes. And boy, is that a disgusting sight.
Well, that was the star ratings. Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer Newsletter star ratings for AEW All In London.